Alright, hi ladies, how are you? My little Miss Sophia is downstairs playing with her dad. So, I gave you a task, and that was to come up with 3 activities that you can have so much fun doing that is not exercise, but you're moving your body in a healthy way. So if you couldn't think of anything, that's okay. Like, give yourself this week to really think about some things. And remember, things that were fun for you 5 or 10 years ago might really not be fun. Let's say, like for me, my body is heavier than what it was. So right now, in loving my body, does not mean that I can get up and run 5K like I could before, right? Because it wouldn't be healthy for my knees or for my feet. But some things that would be a lot of fun would be to go sledding with Sophia. Obviously, Sophia is such a cutie patootie. And it would be a blast to be able to, and I do this, to put her in a sled and go walking up and down the trail. And she gets to slide and giggle and laugh and have fun. And we do that for like half an hour, maybe an hour. We certainly don't go crazy. And then when my body hurts, and not just like, oh my God, I have an exercised hurt, but like, okay, it's time to come in. I don't push it. Because guess why? It's not fun. If it's not fun, stop doing it. Does that make sense? The other thing that I really had enjoyed doing a couple years ago before Sophia is snowboarding. Well, at this point, it just wouldn't be healthy for me to just get up on that snowboard and start snowboarding. I know, I can't believe I snowboard either. But anyway, so things, and I don't have the time nor necessarily the money to do snowboarding, right? So what do I love to do now? Well, I talked a little bit about before in the last video about how we like to do, mommy baby dancing. So we call it time for playtime, and we throw on some music and we dance for 15 or 20 minutes, and we have a blast. She laughs, I laugh, we have a blast. Now, sometimes my body is really tired after 15 minutes. It's okay. So sometimes my body is tired after 20 minutes. That's okay too, or 5 minutes. I just do enough to be able to move my body, so that's a lot of fun. And then when I do some stretching, because my body really loves to stretch, when I do some stretching, I just kind of put her underneath me and I'll give her kisses or stretch to her, so she kind of assists me in my stretching. The other thing that I love, absolutely love to do, is I love to do, it's a type of circuit training. And for me, it's just a blast. We do squats, and I get to be part of a group, and we just, we do these fun ropes, and we just have some really fun music, and I put her in the front pouch, and she joins myself, and I want to say there's 10 other women here in Belgrade, and we laugh, and we have a great time. So for me, that's fun. I guess technically you can call it exercise, but to me, it's not exercise, it's just fun. So those are some of the things that I do. I wanted to also, I do sledding. So my 3 is sledding with Sophia. We dance party. We have a dance party. And I love to circuit train. So some other things that I love to do with her is I love to do some yoga. And we do some mommy and me yoga. And at some point I'll get into CrossFit. But that's not until she gets a little bit older, and I can't wait for that sport. I'm super excited. And I also want to get back into running. When my body is, I feel that my body's ready to run, and we love to walk. Not this time of year, it's too cold, so I won't walk again until summer. Or late spring into summer. So, that's how I move my body in a healthy way. So what are some of the things that you enjoy doing? Do you love to Zumba? Like, I love to Zumba, but I wouldn't necessarily do it with her, so it wouldn't be fun for me, because I love doing things with her. Do you like to belly dance? Do you like to hula hoop? Do you like to go out at night and dance with a bunch of people? Because that's exercising. If you're out dancing at night, you can consider that moving your body in a healthy way. Got it? So think of, there's so many different things, and what I want you to do is, as you're listening to this video, kind of write them down in a post, and let's see them. By some of us sharing some of the things that we love to do, it might give somebody else another idea. So, again, art and knitting and all of that's all fun. It's a fun craft, but it's not necessarily moving your body. So, 3 things that move your body in a healthy way. So, the other part of actually being able to move your body in a healthy way is remembering that your goal is to love your body. So, if you are not in tune to not paying attention to your inner B, your inner belief system, your outer B, what's going on kind of around you, and your enviro B. So if those aren't in sync, then you're going to just kind of let it go. And you might do it for a couple days and then be like, ugh, that's not for me. If you're saying after a couple days, ugh, that's not for me, guess what? It's not for you. Now, if 3 months down the road you're doing an activity and it stops being fun, guess what? Don't do it. Change it. Do something else. It's perfectly okay to not do the same thing day in, day out for years and years and years. Now, excuse me, hiccups. For some of you, that works out great, and it's consistency, and it's part of your routine, and you love it, and it makes you feel good and alive. That's for you. That's perfect. If you're like me, there's things I like to do in the winter that I do not like to do in the summer, that I do not like to do in the fall, that I do not like to do in the spring, but I might do something that I love to do in the fall, like hiking, but I would never do it in the winter, right? So do you see how I like to change things up because I think I get bored. Do you get bored? So that's the big thing to be thinking about in moving your body in a healthy way. So I do want you to not only think about it this week, but I also want you to implement one activity into your week. So if a treadmill is super boring and the worst thing that you could think of is moving your body on a treadmill, please don't do it. But if moving on a treadmill is going to be like, oh, I get to move my body on a treadmill. Like, I love this. I can't wait. I'm going to turn on my favorite show. Moving my body on a treadmill is so amazing. Then do that. You don't have to belong to a healthy, this really expensive gym or take a class. You don't have to do any of it. You could turn on some of your favorite music and dance. But I do want you to move your body for 30 minutes every single day. Now that can be broken up throughout the day, so you can do a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the afternoon, a little bit in the evening. Do it however you want to do it, but I do want you to do at least 30 minutes every single day, and that's 7 days a week. So again, you shouldn't be thinking about exercise. You should just be like, hey, have I moved my body in a healthy way that's been fun today? Have I laughed? Have I had a good time? Oh, I haven't? I need to do something. So I always give an example in my classes about, especially if you think it's hard, I really want you to go back to your childhood. When you were a little girl and you were sitting down and you were watching TV, and then all of a sudden you got itches in your britches. You know what I'm talking about. The itches in your britches, and you just had to move, and you just wanted to do gymnastics or jump up in the air or stretch or whatever. You didn't have any rhyme or reason. And if you can't really remember that, at some time, watch a child. A child might be sitting nice and content, and then all of a sudden need to arch their back, stretch, run around, do whatever, and they'll come back and be seated again, right? So if you are sitting somewhere or you're standing somewhere and you need to stretch, just stretch. Just do it. That's your body. That's getting back in tune with your body and what your body needs at that moment. So, in fact, as soon as I stand up from this chair, I'm going to start stretching. Not because I haven't done it already, because I have, but because my body feels like it needs to stretch after sitting and talking to you guys for a while, right? Because I know these videos have been broken up, but I've been sitting for long periods of time than I usually do. So my body just loves to stretch, and as I'm talking to you, I'm moving my ankles, and I'm just stretching. So really get back to being in tune, and when your body needs to get up and do something, let your body get up and do something. Now, if you're in a work environment and you're with kids, or you're in a work environment at work, show by example. So if that means that you're with a bunch of kids and they're doing their thing, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, I gotta get up and at least stretch or move my neck. Have the whole class get up and move their neck, move their shoulders. If you're at work and obviously you're at a business meeting and you can't do it there, go back to your cubicle or your office or whatever and just start stretching. Doesn't have to be really obvious. Could be you could just be doing this, talking to people. Like, hey, yeah, that was a good meeting. Blah 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 blah. Okay, do you kind of get the general idea? So by doing things sporadically, not only are you helping yourself, but you're also doing what I love, which is giving information to the world. So you're also impacting everybody else. So so it's just an amazing thing. So I would like you to start doing that even tomorrow. So start implementing at some point this week, 30 minutes. I want you to start doing that on a regular basis, whatever it is. Break it up if you need to throughout the day. And I want you just to get up and start stretching or doing whatever your body feels that it needs to do. I hope that makes sense. So that is all of your homework. I gave you a ton of homework this week, and I hope you don't mind, because I'm excited to do it too. And that's the other piece. You guys are not doing this alone. I am doing this with you. And I'm not only the teacher right now, but I'm also very much the student. I always learn every single time I do this series, and every time that I work on me, I learn so much about myself, and I definitely always go through that process. So you'll be seeing as much as my stuff as hopefully I get to see of your stuff. So so to recap, what you need to do for homework this week is the very first thing that you need to do is you need to do your circle of life. It's okay if you make a mistake. You can always print off another one. And hopefully I can get that to you guys. The second thing that I want you to do is start making up your vision board. And that's going to be with your magazines and really reflecting on what your vision of what it's going to be a year from now. So what will your life look like? The third thing that I want you to do is come up with that spiritual place in your home. So wherever that is. And maybe that would be a great place to put your vision board. But also put little things in your home that really help you kind of get into that inner be or that inner belief system. And then the last thing is going to be is implementing your I can't call it fitness. You got to implement your fun. So this is going to be how you're going to move your body in a fun way. I didn't forget the dump the junk piece. And I do want you to name 20 vegetables and 10 fruits, but maybe have that kind of last on your list, because really the dump the junk, the food portion is something that I want on the back of your mind, but isn't the most important thing. But if you can complete that, we're going to go over that on Wednesday and on Friday again. So, be thinking about it, but you don't have to write that down. But I really want you to get going on that vision board, and I really want you to get going on the rest of it, okay? So, whew, we did it, and you watched the videos, and I hope you're excited too. So, anyway, once you finish watching this video, you can now start, I can start answering questions for you. So, it's my Q&A portion. I will be available to you throughout this evening. Tomorrow, if you have any questions, I'll post a few things as a few reminders. I want to see those vision boards. I want to see those spaces. I want you to ask me questions. And again, don't be afraid to post and ask questions, because it could be a question that somebody else may have. So it's really important for you to be able to communicate. If you're hitting a little tough spot or you didn't understand something, post it. Because again, that might be something that somebody else has as a question. And the more questions you ask, the more you're going to get out of this program of totally and completely loving the body you hate right now. All right, giving you guys all a great big hug. You have a wonderful night, and be well.